In this episode we are taking care of the production of all project parts that we still miss in order to complete Phase 4 and take a look on how the Particle Accelerator looks in Unreal Engine 5, including the new Lumen. Yo! Hello everyone! Welcome back to Prone to Play and my Let's Play series of Satisfactory. The last episode was a special one where we took a look at the new things that Update 8 brought to us, and since we have so many new things to discover on the world map like new monsters, biome reworks and much more, it's almost time for us to finally start our world exploration tour. For that, I plan to stream for the very first time on June 17th at 10 AM Central European Summertime. During our exploration, we will check out all locations on the world map and take a look on what's changed. We will also try to gather as many collectibles as possible, which means power slugs, artifacts, maybe some boombox tapes, if we are able to find them, and especially all hard drives for the alternate recipes. If you are interested in participating in that journey, explore together and help me not to miss anything, feel free to join me and save the date. I even might have scheduled the stream if I was able to set it up. But before the hard drive hunting and exploring begins, I want to set up some final productions regarding our project parts. So the scope for today is that I catch you guys up what the current state of Phase 4 is, and then we take care of everything that needs to be set up in order to produce in the background what we need while we are on our adventure out there. First I want to start with what we have already taken care of. In episode 29, we set up 2 manufacturers in our manufacturing room for 1000 thermal propulsion rockets, since we had all necessary parts prepared for them. And while experimenting with Update 8, they completely took care of the production already, so the first of 4 to-dos for completing Phase 4 is already done. Next up, we have the magnetic field generators. And if you have seen the previous episodes, you know that we already prepared the 10,000 versatile frameworks and 4,000 control rods for them as well. But we were missing the 20k batteries still. Well, on the day before Update 8 release, I had some time to spare, so I went to our bauxite extraction in the swamp, upgraded one of the miners to Mark III, and set up a temporary battery production here in order to get the magnetic field generator production started. Bauxite and water get converted into alumina solution with the silica byproduct getting synced. Some sulfuric acid with the sulfur coming from over there and more water gets added to the mix. And from time to time I brought the aluminum casings over here manually. I know, I'm sorry for still using that word. But we have currently around 50% of the 20k batteries produced already, and I think until our world exploration tour starts, we will have hit 20k by then. Also, while I do want to use batteries in the future for drones and stuff, I intend to use an alternate recipe for battery production, so this is why this setup is only temporary and will be gone soon. But because of this, we already have 1000 magnetic field generators produced in our project part room, and while this sounds good, it's only a quarter of the required amount, so the background production while we are exploring will be well needed. The next project parts give me the biggest headache right now, the assembly director system. Not because of the project part itself, and we also took care of all the 4000 supercomputers in the previous episodes as well, but the adaptive control units are the annoying part, and to be even more precise, the automated wiring. Although we currently have well over 25% of the required amount, we still need over 40,000 automated wiring. The standard recipe has an output of 2.5 per minute at normal clock speed, so you can see the issue. At the moment we are producing 5 per minute in our steel factory, automated wiring that is, and I use every available stator and cable that reaches our central storage in order to increase the output. I even convert wire to cable or to stators together with steel pipes from time to time. There will be an alternate recipe for automated wiring in our hands soon, which has an output of 7.5 per minute, and we most likely will have to use this in order to get this done after our exploration tour. Until then, I think we will have to set something up in the manufacturing room today before we head out. Heavy modular frames are done as well, thanks to our recent steel factory overhaul, and with our factories putting out 5 computers per minute and 30 circuit boards per minute, these are on the finish line as well, leaving the automated wiring as the only real issue left. But all this aside, We currently have also more than 1000 assembly director systems produced, so that's that. And last but not least, there's the nuclear pasta. And to my surprise, we are looking pretty good on this as well. Let me elaborate. Thanks to our nitrogen setup in the blue crater and us restocking the blenders over there every once in a while, we produced more than enough fused modular frames already. On top of that, the fully automated manufacturing setup beneath our storage helped us getting the remaining necessary radio control units as well. A quick explanation just so we are all on the same page. This central storage currently centralizes all parts that are getting fabricated on this save file, and it either arrives here via a big merged conveyor bus or via train, and gets sorted away automatically. Check out episodes 16 and 17 of this Let's Play series for this if you are curious to know the details. Anyway, if we want to set up a production of a more complex part, I lead the necessary input underneath the storage room via appropriate logistics and have a dedicated manufacturing room here, which we recently also connected back to the sorting system. For example, we have a crystal oscillator factory in the desert and a computer factory in the blue crater, as well as an aluminum casing production at the desert coast. And since everything gets transported and stored away here, instead of messing with complicated train logistics or something similar, we lead these parts beneath, convert them into radial control units, and sort this or any other output down under here away again by merging it back onto the storage system. But since all this was taken care of up until now, these two assemblers here recently took care of producing the pressure conversion cubes in only 200 minutes, so a little over 3 hours. And I experimented with and prepared a lot for update 8, which is why this is taken care of already. So that's the current state. And in the last episode I already mentioned that I set up a little something close to our coast coal over there. That's where we will cook the nuclear pasta today. So let me grab the 1000 cubes and let's head out there to get this going. Alright, here we are where we are about to set up the nuclear pasta production. It's still nighttime, but this actually does me a favor because I really want to try out something very special and see what it looks like with Lumen. Because I already prepared everything but one machine for today. And if you are familiar with the production of nuclear pasta, you might already know what it is. But first of all, let me give you the tour what's happening about here. Over here we have two different miners. This one will extract 480 iron ore, although I think I might be able to underclock this a little bit, if I remember correctly, and this one here is overclocked and sitting on a pure copper node, excuse me. So we have a total output of currently 720. I think this is not necessary in total, but let's see. And these iron and copper ore will get transported over here, divided onto 5 foundries. And these foundries have all the alternate recipe copper alloy ingots, completely overclocked, with the only exception being the central foundry, which is only overclocked to 200%. And this gives us a total amount of 1200 copper ingots. And this is well necessary for what we are about to do. Because in order to produce nuclear pasta, we already have the pressure conversion cubes ready, but the second part that is necessary for this is copper powder. And in order to produce 50 copper powder per minute, we need 300 copper ingots. And before it's getting daytime again, let's set up the last remaining machine, which I'm very excited about. And I wonder what it looks like with the new Lumen feature. So let's set it down somewhere around here. Alright, not active yet, but here you get the idea what this is. Because in order to produce nuclear pasta, we need the Particle Accelerator. This currently only has 2 recipes available, one being the nuclear pasta. And for one pressure conversion cube converting into nuclear pasta, we need 200 copper powder. So yeah, now you know why we need that many copper ingots. And this is actually getting 200 copper powder per minute, getting merged all together. and this will finally feed into the Particle Accelerator. And because this is taking so long, I want to overclock this to double the clock speed, so that we have 1 nuclear pasta produced per minute. And it's about getting daytime again. Maybe we have to come back later to see this in action. But yeah, this is the idea for this setup. Let's connect this one really quick. Barely have a right angle. Let me actually fix this really quick so that we have this clean. And let's use the new feature for this, because with H we can now lock the hologram, move around and nudge it in the position that we want to have it. So if we want to have this aligned to our current conveyor belt, let's check. This is looking good. Do we have enough space on all sides? Yes. So let's confirm. Nice, perfect position. So now we can feed in the Mark III belt for the copper powder. Add another industrial storage over here. By the way, one feature that I didn't mention in my last episode is now you can set up conveyor belts or pipelines freely wherever you want. Originally this was not possible, but now they come attached with a conveyor pole or pipeline pole respectively. So you can start any conveyor line wherever you want. And in my opinion this is a great feature. But back to the nuclear pasta. Let's insert the pressure conversion cubes over here. And one thing that you need to keep in mind is the extreme power consumption of this. I have never actually overclocked a particle accelerator myself, so I'm curious what the final output will be. Let's connect this to power really quick. And we still have to connect this whole setup. Let's actually get this maybe up here. Then connect it to our power switch. Alright, I have to connect the power tower that's very far behind over there to the main grid. Everything else should be fine, so let me head over there really quick. Alright, everything is connected. And currently this power grid is showing a maximum consumption of around 1600 megawatts, which is a complete lie, because basically everything here is overclocked. But we can afford it. We have so much power to spare at the moment, so let's flip the switch and get this going. So let's see. First, the ore has to arrive here. And here it comes rushing. The foundries are going active already. Spitting out the copper ingots immediately. And these constructors now actually do the heavy work, but it will take some time. The pressure conversion cubes are getting fed into the particle accelerator already as well. And here comes the copper powder. And it will actually take some time until it has the necessary 200 first copper powder inserted. But with this producing 50 copper powder each, once this is running at a steady and stable rate, this should run smoothly. So let's give it a minute to fill up. Alright, almost there. And here it goes. And we absolutely have to come back during nighttime over here, because I'm so curious of how this looks with the reflections. No walls around here, but maybe, most definitely, it will be a nice sight to see. And I actually forgot something, because of course we have to store the output as well. So let's place an industrial storage container around here. Damn, this is making noise. But you can see the power consumption rising and rising and rising. And I'm actually curious how much power this needs at its max rate, because the power is rising increasingly at a particle accelerator, with the peak reaching at the end of the production. Let's see where this is going. I think this will easily exceed the 2000. Well, I brain farted, because I dismantled the particle accelerator and reset it again. Of course the power shards were gone also, so it wasn't overclocked. But now it's setting up properly, so as you can see, the power consumption increased as well. Now the minimum is 1250 megawatts instead of 250, and the maximum power consumption is now 3750 megawatts. This is a lot of power necessary for one single machine. Kind of impressive. But a very nice sight. And now we have the nuclear pasta getting produced. We saw this running on the conveyor belt, but let's take a look. This is looking awesome. There comes the second one already. Alright, nuclear pasta is taken care of. Okay, I want to take a look at the particle accelerator at nighttime, but while we are waiting, I want to take care of something else. Because, you know, our lizard doggo Enel will be alone for a very long time while we are exploring, and I just found a possible partner in crime for him, with who he can play with while we are absent. But now I lost track of him. God damn it, where is he? Oh, I think I found him. Okay, let's see. Awesome. Now we need a name. And actually, while we're at it, let's bring him to the central storage. By the way, have there always been 3 hawks around this place? Or, actually... Damn, that's a zoo over here. Alright, we got him home. You already got to see his new friend, but both of them do not seem to be too interested into each other right now. But because this one had no fear at all of me and ate the paleberry right away, unlike his buddy Enel, I will name him Courage for the moment. But if you have any idea what's a better fitting name for him, feel free to suggest it. Right, back to what I intentionally wanted to do. Alright, it's nighttime. And let's take a look at the particle accelerator glowing at night. Okay, the little lights are looking very great on its own. This is so beautiful. I always loved the cinematics and the visual effects of the particle accelerator even before update 8, but now, in my opinion, it's even more impressive. You can see the reflections on the materials themselves. So beautiful. Okay, now 3 out of the 4 project parts are taken care of. The nuclear pasta is producing, the magnetic field generators are getting produced, the propulsion rockets are already done. The only thing that's left is the assembly director system. And in order to set something up fully automated for this, I want to head once more to the manufacturing room. And I tried to actually bring in some light over here with some floodlights. But as you can see, we still have to get used to Lumen and the new light physics in this game. This is barely doing anything. aside from where it's pointing. So yeah, the good old flashlight it is. Anyways, I actually want to deal with some of the logistics down here, because I want to fully automate first the adaptive control unit down here, and then the assembly director system, because we already produced more than enough supercomputers. There's actually no need to automate these for the moment, but the adaptive control unit is something that we need to take care of. And there's also actually no need to overclock this, because in the steel factory we are only producing 5 automated wiring per minute. Let's see. Okay, this is as good as it gets. But we have enough circuit boards, we have enough heavy modular frames, and we have enough computers. So yeah, this will produce our adaptive control units, and now we have to bring the necessary parts underneath here. And the computers are already running on this system. So let's go quick and dirty. Let's actually go really quick and dirty. Connect this again. It's too steep. Of course it is. But this should work. Yes, computers are already getting transported over here. Now we have circuit boards, and maybe we can split these off directly over here. Alright, circuit boards getting delivered. Now all that's left is the automated wiring and the heavy modular frames. And for this we have to set up additional lifts through the floor holes. Here is the heavy modular frames and the automated wiring directly next to it. Alright, this one was for our screw construction before, but it's not necessary anymore. Maybe we can reuse this. Actually, let's see. These two are not in use, if I see that correctly. No, they're not, which is perfect. So let's get rid of this and this. And let's simply do this. Alright. Is this clipping? Yeah, no, this is... We can do better. Let's move this lower just a little bit. Yeah, this is better. Alright, here come the heavy modular frames as well as the automated wiring. All that we have to do is to turn these lifts around. Okay, not nice, but good enough. And let's give it a few seconds to see if it is connected as intended. Looking good. Heavy modular frames and automated wiring are arriving. And I decided to let this run on normal clock speed, since it will go idle when there are no automated wirings available. And if we are producing additional ones, we can simply store them away and keep the production running. Alright, so let's turn this on. And now we have adaptive control units getting produced automatically. Extremely slowly, but at least automatically. Now let me check the logistics up above if they are getting indeed sorted away appropriately. Let's see. Oh, yes, there we have it. Alright. Here the adaptive control units will arrive, and down under should be a dedicated sign as well. No, it's not, but we can fix this. And hello. Oh, very nice. Thank you very much. And now we can already hook up this one and feed it to the underground as well. Because the adaptive control units will directly be converted into assembly director systems. And for this we will actually get rid of this manufacturer because it's currently not needed. Neither are all these storage containers, but instead we will need an assembler. In my opinion, Lumen still has its issues when it's completely dark, and it will also change completely how I am gonna build in this game, because it's crazy how dark it is in closed rooms. But that's for another day. Alright, where were the adaptive control units? The second blowhole of this line. So let's add another lift over here and let's feed this a little bit off the side, maybe like this, if it doesn't clip. No, looking good, because then we can directly transport it down here if it's not clipping. Maybe extend this a little bit. How's this? Damn. Nah, whatever. Missing iron plates. But it doesn't matter. And for the second input, we set up an industrial container. And here we will put in the remaining amount of supercomputers. This one will be assembly director system, and there's actually no logistics dedicated for assembly director systems up until this point. What are you doing underneath here? Go play with your new friend. Come here, come here. And stay. Let's wait for the adaptive control unit. There we have them, the first pair. So we know this system is working as intended. The adaptive control units that are getting produced over here are getting sorted away by our system and getting transported back to this assembler. Alright, adaptive control units are getting produced. Some of them have already reached the assembler, and I just got the supercomputers that are still necessary in order to produce 4000 assembly director systems in total with me. So let's set them up. And there's actually a second container needed. Let's also let this clock speed remain on 100%. Maybe I will overclock this depending on how many adaptive control units there are on stock, but this will take forever, so yeah. Very good that we have this up and running automatically. I also adjusted the sorting system of the central storage accordingly so that we have a dedicated container set for the assembly director systems right next to the thermal propulsion rockets. And I still have to store everything away that is still waiting over here and is dedicated for the assembly director systems, but now we have to feed it via this mechanic and via this logistics setup. So yeah, back to the storage it will go. So let me just clean everything up a little bit. I collected all the project parts really quick that have been produced up to this point in order to give you an overview, and there should be also around 100 of the nuclear pasta done as well. But that's basically everything that I wanted to take care of before we are finally able to head out to our world exploration tour. Again, feel free to join me on Saturday, and thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any feedback, feel free to drop it. It's always greatly appreciated. And if you did enjoy, then please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.